Y'all, can I use a theme park as a co-working space, as an office? We're gonna find out. I have just arrived at the world-renowned Elitch Gardens in Denver, Colorado. It's a cute little small theme park in Denver. Has a really cool history. We won't get into that today. But I was looking for a co-working space. I was like, you know what? I don't work efficiently at home. I do so much better when I'm out, removed from all the comforts and distractions of home. So I was fixing to spend a lot of money on a co-working space. And at the last minute, I thought, why don't I go to Elitch? I have a season pass. I think there's Wi-Fi, there's outlets. Like, why the frick not? So we're here. Got my iPad. We're gonna see if we can do some work and ride some rides. Oh. All right, so before you tell me I'm crazy, here's why I think it could potentially work. First of all, there's places to sit. I've only been here once. There's plenty of places to sit, plenty of tables. There's also Wi-Fi, free guest Wi-Fi, but I also have a hotspot for phone. So there's that. I also have an iPad, which is pretty compact. So if I ride rides, I'm hopeful that it's easy to either put it in the cubbies next to the rides, or I think they have rental lockers maybe. There's also food, $3 beers. So in theory, this should work, but in practice, I have no idea. So first things first, I've only been to this park once, so I'm gonna make a quick little journey around the whole park just to get another lay of the land, see what the options are as far as places to sit and work. I also want to check out the food options. They have, so first of all, a season pass here was $80, actually like $78, I think, because I bought it early while they were having a special. And they also have some food packages. One is, I think, like $80, and it gives you one meal per visit. And there's another one that's more money. I'll figure out the price and tell you. And that gives you two meals per day. But I'm vegetarian, I don't eat meat, and so I don't know what the options are. I don't know if they'll be worth it for me or not. But we're gonna find that out. Because what a dream to come here, I said, to work. Oh, I've gotten distracted. Oh, there's a great spot. Look at those spots right there. Those would be awesome, wouldn't they? Yeah. You also get, as the season pass holder, you get a soda cup. And I don't remember how much it costs to refill that. It's possible it's free, I don't remember. But there's also a beer cup. I bought a beer cup. I think it was $20, maybe $30. But the cool thing about that cup is you get $3 beers. And that was one of my favorite things about the only co-working space I've ever had a membership to, was that they had craft beer on tap. And it was so fun in the afternoons when 3 o'clock would hit, or 1 o'clock, to grab a beer in the day with a beer. So, I don't know. In theory, this ticks all the boxes. So we're gonna find out. There's the food court. Actually, let's go in now and see what the food options are. Okay, so we're chicken. It's a chicken place. It looks delicious, but that's probably not vegetarian chicken. Those are cheeseburgers. We don't see a veggie burger. Here we have a pizza place. Yeah, okay, they have a cheese pizza. That's great. That's food with no meat. Oh, this place has a burrito bowl. I bet you can get that without meat. That looks great. Oh, that looks great. That looks great. Lovely. And yeah, this is barbecue, so probably not. Oh, there's also this huge indoor space as well. So that's pretty killer. One thing I'm not seeing are outlets. Oh, that's not true. There's outlets right here. Oh, and I see an outlet over there right by that table. First strikeout of the day, Wi-Fi. My expectations were low. I did not plan to rely on that. And I'm not sure what's going on. It's connecting, but it says no internet connection. No like pop-up is happening, you know, which would be typical when you're on a public Wi-Fi network to like sign a waiver or, you know, sign in or something. And then none of that's happening, and it's happening on both my phone and my iPad. So that's okay. I honestly, I assumed that was going to be the case. I would not have relied on it. So we'll just turn on my public or my personal hotspot, and we should be good to go. And there we go. We're working. Okay, so this is the Mind Eraser. This is a Vekoma SLC. It's a really, really famous roller coaster design. It was really, really popular. It was one of the first steel coasters where you hung down like this, which is, I can't remember what else LC stands for, but it's something to do with that. Yeah, that was amazing. It's so fun. So it's a Vekoma SLC. What does that mean? Vekoma is a European coaster manufacturer. They were big during Coaster Wars, which was like the 90s. And this particular design is the Vekoma SLC. Suspended looping coaster is what that stands for. And it is really notable because it was affordable and it's really compact, so it takes up a small footprint. And so this exact design is in so many theme parks around the world. There's tons of them in the US, and there are other places as well. And they are literally identical. And this one here at Elitch Gardens is infamous as being one of the worst. And what do I mean by one of the worst? Well, I mean the roughest. It's really, really rough. But it's just such an important part of coaster history that I love riding it. Like, absolutely freaking love it. My advice is hold your head back against the back of the seat. Don't try to like hold your head forward or it's gonna bounce around. All right, so now the reason we came here, let's find a place to work. All right, rain is on its way. I knew that was the case. It looks like thunderstorm's coming. So I just went and rode Mind Eraser. That's that Vekoma SLC. Went and rode it again. It was basically a walk-on because the school groups have left. But I was just looking at the food options. Okay, so there's a drink plan, which is $28, and that just gives you unlimited soda all season. Then there's the regular dining plan, and it's $79.99, and that gives you one meal per visit. The premium dining plan is $119.99, $120, and it gives you 2 meals per visit. And I just took another little walkabout to look at the food options, and most of the food items, like the burgers, the pizzas, the nachos, anything that you might like consider close to a meal, is around like $18, like $14 to $18. So that premium dining plan would pay for itself pretty quickly. I would just have to eat, 7-8 meals here. So I think that's a no-brainer. I also got a beer. So this is the beer cup. It's $18 the first time you buy it, and then as long as you have the cup, it is $3 every time you get a beer. They also have just a soda one, which is $14 for the cup, and then $1.50 each time you refill the soda. So I'm starting to do the math, and I think this is making sense. I don't think this is what Elitch Gardens intended, but maybe I shouldn't be telling y'all about it. I've been here 4 hours. I got so much work done. I'm gonna get back to work for a little bit. It looks like it's gonna start raining. I might see if I can outlast the rain, because it's only supposed to rain for like an hour-ish. And they'll close the rides while they do that, but they should open them back up pretty quickly once the storm passes. And I bet there will be nobody here. So I bet Mind Eraser was already basically a walk-on. I waited for 2 cars to pass before I got on. I rode in the back because I don't care. Today. It's a Wednesday. Some schools are still in session. Memorial Day just happened. It's the day after Memorial Day. So it was a good day to come. It's really empty. I do have a pass that gives you Rapid Ride, which is their like walk-on, but it's a $249 charge to add that on. And I don't know. We'll see if it's worth it. The rides are great. It's a small park and there's not a lot of rides. And so if I'm going to be here as much as it seems like I might be here, I just don't think that makes sense. I think it makes more sense for me to prioritize riding rides like I did today. And the park's already very empty. And then the only reason the people who were here were mostly school groups. And now that they've left, it's like almost empty. So I am kind of leaning towards not doing that Rapid Ride add-on. That's really expensive for what it is. I mean, the season ticket is only $78. So I'm leaning towards no on that. We'll see. All right, I think I gotta go find something more substantial than this little umbrella because the storm is a brewing. Okay, y'all, it's December now. It is the end of the season. I filmed that, way back in the beginning of the summer, and I've been holding on to it until now to see where I landed, whether or not I thought this was a good idea, and here we are. Now, the park's still open for a few more weeks on the weekends until, I think, January 2nd, something like that. But I think I've done enough to have a sense of whether I'll do this again or not. So, first of all, let's talk about the money, like what I actually paid. Now, the season pass is technically $120, but they almost always have a promo going for $80, and I got it for around $80. I also upgraded to the premium dining plan, which was $140 for the season, and that got me 2 meals per day. You do have to wait 3 or 4 hours in between them, but 2 meals per day, along with unlimited free soda refills in that cup that they gave. Now, you do have to bring the cup. You have to have the cup. You have to remember to bring your cup. And you also have to remember to bring the beer cup, which I also did. That was $18 to buy the cup, and then it's $3 every time you get a beer in it. And I did not track how many beers I had, but some. I'd say probably like 2 or 3 beers per visit, if I had to guess. So that puts the total for the season, not counting the beers, because again, I have no idea. But the total for this season at $238. And I went 10 times, which was less than I expected, but more than enough to make it worth it. It comes out to $23.80 per day. If we assume that I had 3 beers at $9 each and tipped $1 each time, let's add another $12. So that's $35 for a day in a theme park, a place to work, 2 meals, and 3 beers along with unlimited soda and water refills all day in that cup. So unquestionably worth it. I mean, a coworking membership, which again, it's different. You're probably using it more. It's not a one-to-one comparison, but that's easily $200 to $500 a month. You also can't use this year-round. Now, again, they are open from like May-ish until now, but now they're only open on the weekends. So there are limitations. It's not a one-to-one. I obviously acknowledge that. But was it financially worth it for me? Yeah, like obviously. I mean, I went 10 times, which is quite a lot, but honestly, I expected to go even more, but it was still super worth it. So real quickly, the pros and cons. This obviously isn't right for everyone. So what are the pros? Well, if you have a ADHD brain like mine that really likes stimulus, really kind of thrives in chaos, then this is perfect for you. There's constant action. You also, you get 2 meals a day, unlimited sodas, so, you're not having to buy lunch. Not always the healthiest options, but they did have healthy options. You could be, you could behave if you wanted. And then you can ride rides. For someone in a creative field, I'm a full-time creator. For someone in a creative field who thrives on that kind of stuff, taking a break for that wild stimulation, it just keeps me in like a creative space all day. I don't know. My brain just loves it. Next, you're outside, which I love. I'd much rather be outside than inside. But at the same time, depending on where you live, that's not always pleasant. I don't want to be outside all day in the end of July in Orlando. So that's something to consider. You get to be outside, but you also have to be outside. All right, the cons. These are pretty obvious, but obviously it's so loud. It's loud as hell. So if you're someone who doesn't think or work well in a chaotic environment, if you need a quiet place for meetings, if you need to be able to take video calls in a professional setting, obviously this is not for you. Crowds, weather, all of that is unpredictable, so you do have to have a little bit of flexibility. I think those are the major cons. The next one is Wi-Fi, though, and that just depends on the park. If you have a hotspot that's, makes sense financially, like I do, I have a really affordable way to turn my phone into a hotspot without extra cost at high speeds, so it's perfect. But if you're going to a park without Wi-Fi, that's something to consider. So, what's my big takeaway? Well, to be honest, I kind of did this not as a joke. I had hoped it would work out, but I wasn't very optimistic. And it worked out. So I think that's my biggest takeaway is the surprise that it actually was a lot more viable than I expected it to be. But again, it's not for everyone, and we have to remember to be responsible in the parks if we're going to do something like this. This obviously is not what this is meant for, so we need to make sure that we're being respectful of the parks, making sure we're not getting entitled, making sure we're not sitting in one spot, this isn't what the parks are meant for. So if you do something like this, do not blame it on me. Be a responsible park user, all right? This is not what the parks mean for season passes to be for, so behave. Please, don't ruin it for the rest of us. But again, it's not for everyone, but if your brain is like mine, it might be the move. So if you give it a try, let me know. Let me know in the comments how it went. And if you would never give this a try, tell me why. There's lots of good reasons, but I'm curious to know. Why wouldn't it work for you? Or why do you think it would work for you? All right, till next time. Bye, y'all. Y'all, thanks for watching that video. That was sweet of you. If you want to watch another one, click here. If you want to join one of my group trips, click here. Okay, want to see something pretty?